Hello and welcome to another Doctor's Assistant 1 video. Today I'm doing a review of the Doctor Who Monster Vault book that I was lucky enough to get for Christmas. Almost said my birthday then, but for Christmas, end of last year, 2022, which was an absolute shit show of a year for me. But on a positive note, as I say, it's 16th of January 2023 now. Wow, that's kind of insane to say out loud. But I've got this book. I love the cover on the front here, and I'm going to be reviewing it today. So, like, if you didn't want spoilers of what's inside the book, don't watch this review. But if you don't mind having a few pages ruined for you, then please stick with this video. But yeah, you've got all these like fragments with like pictures of Daleks, Jadoons, Levine, Silurians even, hashtag fake fan much, Cybermen, Centaurans, Zygons, the Pating, Ice Warriors, that thing from Nikola Tesla's Night of Terror, the Ood, Weeping Angel, and a Dreg. And then you've got like the new Doctor Who logo, which I don't feel like I've seen as much as I should do. And typical, as soon as this is really drawn on me, we've got a new logo, which ironically though is like the old logo. But yeah, so it's not the end of the world, I guess. But although saying that, this logo, the Jodie Whittaker one, does fit well on the side and or spine of a book, so that's good. Monster Vault book, BBC Books, obviously. You've got all the images of a bunch of monsters in a square, and then a bio of the book, and how much it retails for, which is on the back, £25, which I think 20 quid would be the sweet spot for this book, but I mean, 25 quid is still worth it, I think. You know, you've got a lot of pages here, you've got lovely imagery like that. And it goes all the way from 1963 to about, I'd say, 2020, so it's not bad. It's only like 2 years out of date. Like, there's only like, what, Flux, and the 6 episodes from Flux, and the last 3 episodes, so a total of 9 episodes you're missing out of a lot more episodes. You know, you've got 302 pages of monsters and stuff. You've even got like a little nice message from the Doctor herself, which I like. I like it when books do that, or a little personal touch, I guess. And yeah, I'll just go through one of the pages. I've read some of this. I was reading some of it just before this review. You know, it's alphabetical as well, so, but if for whatever reason you didn't know the alphabet, or aren't very confident with said thing, as I say, there's the contents page there at the beginning. And yeah, for certain monsters, such as say the Autons, you get quite a bit more pages. You know, you get this page and a glossy image, a big glossy page of an Auton. And then you also get, you know, more in-depth little screenshots of like Pertwee being attacked by the squid monster, or Mickey and the bin, or the Auton, the Nestine consciousness, sort of from Rose, as well as Auton Rory. But you also get, in every page, you always get a little image in a circle. Don't know what the circle is and why there's this image there, but either way it's cool, because underneath that, more importantly, you get a thing that says who the either episode or monster, more so monster I assume, is created by, and then also their appearances. So, you know, for example, when we get to Daleks, obviously, because they're the big boys, they get a double glossy page of a thing, and then, you know, you've got Davros, and you've got more pictures there on this side, but you've also got by Terry Nation, and then you've got this massive list that goes from 1963's The Daleks all the way to even Revolution of the Daleks coming soon. which, as I say, kind of dates this book around, I want to say 2020, oh, just after 2020, so 2021, which is already like, yeah, quite a bit ago. But as I say, you've got all these glossy images of like, just different Daleks and stuff, you know, and just so many different things from old Doctor Who, like the Exelons, and stuff that you might not have seen in other books, like the Raston Warrior, or stuff that you've only seen a little bit of. Again, even with more modern monsters slash bad guys, like the Jadoon, you see in this big glossy image, and then you also see the list of things, and you get more than just the one page. Like the Ood, I was surprised that Ood get quite a lot in this book, which I'm happy about because I adore the Ood. I've read this page, but then I haven't read the other 2 pages, but as I say, they're across 3 pages, the Ood, which is great. I mean, I'll be honest, for the life of me, I'm not sure if they're in Hellbent, but it says so in this book, so I'm just going to go with the flow on that one. Ugh, hate saying that term. But I don't remember them being in Hellbent or in The Magician's Apprentice, really, but maybe just The Magician's Apprentice, vaguely remember, maybe in a bar scene, like sort of cantina scene. That was that sort of weird era where like Moffat had a tendency to just throw in lots of monsters here, there and everywhere in lots of different episodes. Ooh, the Teller. He would be so cool as a Doctor Who action figure, done correctly. And then you've got the Pterodactyls as well, who apparently not just in the Visitation but in Time Flight as well. Apparently, I think that again another one that would be amazing as like an action figure. Really gives you a new appreciation for those sort of like makeup and costumes and prop designery people. And they also have these little unanswered questions, so like little plot holes. They try and sort out an unanswered question or a little plot hole. You know, the Weeping Angel seems to get quite a few pages, although there is a bit of a long list. Although, as I said earlier, you don't have episodes from Flux, so the Village of the Angels is unfortunately not included in this one. But yeah, it goes up to about series 12, I'd say, of Doctor Who. So I'll be honest, in some ways I kind of wish they'd postponed this book until Jodie Whittaker's era was done. That way you could just have had an actual full, like, you know, First Doctor, or William Hartnell, because, you know, Timeless Children is a bloody thing. But, you know, you could have had, like, Bill Hartnell all the way through to like, you know, Jodie Whittaker plus the War Doctor and Expanded Universe stuff, which I'll be honest, they don't seem to include, obviously, Expanded Universe stuff. So, for example, Terror of the Zygons, The Day of the Doctor, Zygon, Invasion and Inversion, or Inversion and Invasion, or whatever the two-parter is, they're all the televised Zygon stories. They're not including, like, the PDAs or the EDAs or the Doctor Who Big Finish audios or the Time comics or the Doctor Who comics from the Doctor Who magazine comic strips. You know, obviously if they did, then I suppose every other monster would have, you know, like a list this long. Do you know what I mean? So it's a nice mixture of new and old images as well, like you know, images from, like, say, classic Who there, and then you've got your modern Doctor Who ones, and then you've got big glossy one big page with just the bad guy, usually just centre focus, and then the other ones are more sort of like screenshots from Terror of the Zygons and Day of the Doctor and the War two-parter thing, and then you've even got a making of monsters bit, which I don't really want to ruin for everyone, but I'm going to ruin it anyway. Which, as I say, is great in a book like this. I think it's much needed. I think maybe my major criticism could be that, yeah, I think maybe the making of monster thing could be a lot longer. And that, but I think the rest of the book is really good. Maybe like a a 7 or an 8 out of 10, an 8 out of 10, but what would push it up to a 9 or a 10 even would be, as I say, if they'd have just sort of, for lack of a better term, been able to bookend it with the end of a full era of the incumbent Doctor, and if not that, then, as I say, had a bit more in-depth sort of stuff of the making of monsters, and it looks a lot more like just big glossy images with a big bold text at the end, because they kind of just, maybe, I get the impression maybe this book fell a little bit short in terms of the page number, and then maybe they had a specific one to hit. Maybe I could be wrong, I could be talking complete bunkum, I could be talking out my arse, I don't know, but it is nice, as I say, you've got all the Sontaran stories and cameos, as I say, like, they include little cameos of different things, so, like, you know, the Pandorica Opens and the Big Bang will be in there, or episodes that, like, you know, Strax is in will be included, but even though he's a Sontaran, not all of the Sontarans, if that makes sense. But yeah, it's a shame that, like, Sarah Jane Adventures isn't included in this as well, because, like, with the Slitheen, that list would be a little bit longer, and then you could also include, like, the Blathereen, and, you know, but I suppose on the front cover, it is just Doctor Who, you know, past and future, well, not past and future, but past and present Doctor Who, as of when this book released, whereas I guess I'm kind of trying to cram it in with a bit more, for lack of a better term, really nitty-gritty, extremely nerdy, pedantic additional content, where I think most people, your average, especially, for lack of a better term, I hate saying this out loud, but because it sounds awful, but your average sort of Jodie Whittaker fan picking this up, for someone who's only watched the Jodie Whittaker era, or started with her, or maybe only watched Capaldi, or Capaldi's last series, and then all of Whittaker, or whatever, you know, if that's your percentage, which is very much a drop in the ocean that is Doctor Who at this point, then I think this book would be brilliant for that, is the perfect demographic of people to get this book for. If you have a son or a daughter or a niece or a nephew who like Doctor Who but don't have lots of knowledge about Doctor Who, then this is the book for them. Although saying that, I guess the internet is a thing now, so I don't really get who the target demographic is really for something like this, other than, I suppose, obsessive weirdos like me. I suppose, you know, I just like having, for lack of a better term, some of this information out of my head, like, for lack of a better term, in a book, you know, so I can actually try and think about something other than, you know, Doctor Who and all these, you know, all this madness. Although I will go to the Cybermen, because I do quite like the two spread page with, yeah, I like Ashad a lot as a Dalek, as a Cyberman, even sort of character. Cybermasters, it's a bit iffy. I really don't like these ones. I didn't mind the ones in Power of the Doctor as much, but yeah. But, like, yeah, look at that chunky long list of, you know, you've got from 1966 10th Planet all the way to the Cybermen, or Ascension of the Cybermen / the Timeless Children 2020. So yeah, they've had quite a lot of outings, but the sort of standard Cybermen from the Chibnall era, I think, for lack of a better term, no pun intended, but masterful, you know, I think, excellent. To quote David Banks, these things are irrelevant, excellent. I think, yeah, the Cybermen, the newest iteration of them, minus the spikes maybe. I think other than the spikes, like, get rid of the spikes and then just keep them as they are from the Chibnall era, and I think you've got perfect Cybermen. Top tier, probably the best they've been designed in the new series, other than the original Russell T Davies ones. I have a soft spot for those ones, I guess, because, you know, I hate using the N-word, not that one, but nostalgia. You know, I have nostalgia for these ones, I guess, the John Lumick ones. Although I do also quite like the updated Mundacian ones. If we could see them again, that would be cool. I quite like Earthshock Sidemen, really. I think the weakest one, generally speaking, for me personally, is these new Nightmare and Silver ones. I did not like them. Too robotic, got way too far away from the original design. You've also got Clockwork Droids, or robots even, and that, which only appear in The Girl in the Fireplace and Deep Breath, although I like the fact that they brought them back in Capaldi's first episode. I thought that was a neat callback. Maybe an unnecessary one, but it was still neat, you know. If it ain't broke, don't fix it, you know. It's kind of cool, something different, something from the past, and I suppose it works because it's same sort of time period as Madame de Pompadour, that sort of Victoriana sort of, but in France it would have been the French Revolutionary time, I guess. I think when we were, as British people, in the stuffy Victoriana sort of time period. I think I could be wrong about that. I didn't go to a very good secondary school. Anyway, thanks for watching. Please do comment, rate, and subscribe to the channel. And I'll see you next time for probably another Doctor Who video / review of something on the channel. Bye. Bye-bye.